Good evening, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Morning, Mr.
First of all, thank you to SIBEC to invite me in this particular platform and all the other participants who are connected. Uh, it's a pleasure to be in front of you. So I've been offered the opportunity to give my insights on the digital opportunities in Saudi. I've been in this business for past 25 years, and I founded my company in 25 years back. So uh, I'm hopeful that there are some things which I can share. So when it comes to digital opportunities, so the past few days we've been listening a lot about so many projects, so many initiatives from the government of Saudi, and so many developments that uh, are planned in the future for the next 10 years or so. So let's take, for example, the Mukab project. So it seems that there is 100,000 smart homes in this Mukab project, right? So we've been hearing a lot of that, 100,000 smart homes. So you have one smart home. Assume that you are in one of these smart homes, and what type of services the smart home provides. You're all aware of that. What happens if you are inside the smart home, or you want to enter the smart home and the smart home doesn't open to you? So how do you tackle that situation? These are certain things which creates the ingenuity of for various opportunities in the kingdom. All these projects, all these digital opportunities, having such facilities available for us in terms of smart homes, there is a level of services and activities that accompany us to perform and venture into for Saudi Arabia. So that is what I'm going to talk about much, more or less. And if anybody has any questions, we can have the questions into the session. It's a very small presentation. I have around 8 or 9 slides, and I'll be happy to interact with you after the sessions. Yeah, thank you. So it is very safe to assume that we have a digital gold rush in Saudi. We have seen commitment of $500 billion invested across Vision 2030. And for all those C-suite and entrepreneurs in this call, it represents a once in a generation market entry opportunity to you to enter into the Saudi market. So if you look at the KPIs of Vision 2030, we are at the moment 93% KPIs on track, or it is exceeded. And out of 1,500 initiatives, 675 initiatives have been completed. The Vision 2030 has been successful in attracting regional headquarters of 571 or more. And at the moment, we are sixth in global ranking in e-government. We were 52nd. Saudi Arabia was 52nd a couple of years back. But the e-government initiative and the digital government initiatives of Saudi has moved it all the way up to the sixth. Now, why these what do you call the KPIs are in this line is because the kingdom has been successful in getting 99% internet penetration in the kingdom. We have over 77% 5G network coverage. Average mobile internet speed in every handset is around 215 megabyte. And this basically is the cumulative result of a 500 billion vision for the Vision 2030 investment that is the government that has rolled out. So with this particular infrastructure in the kingdom, the limit, it's a limitless area of playing for all the digital entrepreneurs who can come up with different kinds of services and products and apps concerning the digital landscape. I'm not going to discuss all these available opportunities. I would like to take three different segments. One would be the fintech opportunity. The other would be the digital adoption platform. And the third one would be the cybersecurity. which would actually enable you to enter your smart home or exit your smart home safely. So the fintech revolution. So the fintech basically had a major growth in Saudi. We we are proud to say that we have, I think, more than two or three digital banks in Saudi at the moment. Opening a bank account in Saudi, if you're a legal resident, is 10 minutes. I have my daughter who finished her engineering, came back to Saudi, and she just opened a bank account on the fly within 10 minutes, you know. So that is the level of readiness the government has provided for a digital opportunity related to fintech. So in 2018, there were 20 companies. Now in 2025, we have over 280 plus companies. Most of them, 79%, are in the digital payment adoption platform. And the cumulative fintech investments as of today is around 2.39 billion, which is relatively showing a transaction of 12.6 billion transactions in 2024. So the trajectory, if you see on the right side, is $63.9 billion to $87 billion till 2029. It's a huge market. And in this market, we have some successful stories also. There are three unicorns right now which prove the model. One is Tabby. The current valuation of Tabby is around $3.3 billion. And they are planning for an IPO in Tadawul very soon. Tamara, the another one, basically Tabby and Tamara are lending platforms. So Tamara has become a unicorn with a $1 billion valuation as of now. STC Pay was one of the first fintech unicorn in 2020 during Corona time. They are currently valued at 1.3 billion. And they also have been approved as a digital bank very lately, maybe around 6 months back. Now, how does the government or how does the government of Saudi promote fintech? So they have a central bank, SAMA, which basically has a regulatory sandbox. And unlike other places, over here, the sandbox is open and it accepts uh, testing and oversight by any software application at any point of time. Usually in other places, you would have to wait for your window to open and then you would have to apply. And over here, it's not the case. You have something you want to showcase and you want to bring it down to Saudi, you have to just connect to someone and ask them for a sandbox. They would give you a sandbox environment where you upload your application, create your environment, test it, and then show it to them. If they are successful, if you are successful in your delivery in terms of security, in terms of value-added services, they immediately give you a grant. They immediately give you a license to operate in Saudi Arabia. The next one would be the infrastructure in terms of banking framework. The government has deployed Sadat framework for all ministry payments. Government has SARI implemented, which enables fast transfer. The government has connected the Upshur platform. Upshur is your residency platform where you can validate your residency or citizenship platform. The government has connected that also to the banking framework. So if you have an app and you want to roll it out as a fintech, one of the most important feature of a fintech would be the KYC. Now, KYC in Saudi is such a breeze. You can validate the user's credentials in terms of their IDs, in terms of their national address. All of that has become a big boon to the fintech companies in Saudi Arabia. And one of the most important feature for necessity for fintech would be the cybersecurity requirement. And we, as a company operating in Saudi, we actually do cybersecurity services. So 3 years back, we were dealing with requests from probably 20 or 25 odd companies. At the moment, the market size has gone all the way up to 512 companies in Saudi for fintech. So that is the level of opportunity that is growing up over here. So to all my fellow participants over here, whoever is in the field of fintech, whoever can think out of the box, this is a very good place for you to come and launch your business. The next would be the digital adoption platform. So uh, this is a very unique platform in which I think there are only 3 or 4 players in the world, to be very honest. And what does this mean? So the drive is digital transformation, digital transformation, digital transformation. How would you do that? How would you do digital transformation? How would you educate the users on DX? DX is digital transformation, right? So you either spent money in terms of training all the users into what is the digital transformation, what do you mean by a maturity model, how mature you are, it takes a lot of time. And that particular user need not stick with you also. So a digital adoption platform is basically a tool which enables the user on the fly training on any digital solution. So the global DAP market itself is around $1.2 billion, and which is projected to increase all the way up to $4.8 billion. Why this growth? It's very simple. The advent of AI is increasing the tech savviness of all the users. Those who are new in the Gen Z and the newcomers into the market, they are very much familiar with these AI. But what about those people who are above 40 years old? So you have to give some kind of a platform for them to digitally adopt to the latest technologies in terms of AI, the latest ERPs that are coming up in the market. So that particular uh, leveling ground is what DAP does. The DAP module, which is available right now from a vendor called Wattfix, is basically it's a very small uh, model module which is developed by Indians. It's an Indian company. It sits side by side on your monitor screen on the right side, and it uses AI to understand what is being displayed on the screen, and it basically guides the user to go to the next step in your particular process if the person is doing a PO transaction. So this is one basic example. The other example would be enabling any new employee when they come into an organization. How do you use the existing digital solutions that are available in the particular enterprise? Another opportunity would be how would a new employee that has joined the government ministry make use of those particular applications or services within the enterprise effectively without any intervention. This is a huge market that is going to grow and explode in the very coming new future with all these new technologies that are coming up, with all these new AI that are coming in to augment everybody's life. This would be one big opportunity that is going to shape. And anybody who's fast moving into this particular line would be making a lot of business on this, especially if you are looking into localization. And finally, the cybersecurity services. So cybersecurity, it was $3.6 billion up until now, with next year projected to $9.8 billion. The cybersecurity feature is so important in which privacy, data security, all of that are maintained. So in Saudi, there is a huge push for data sovereignty in which all the data, they do not want to have it outside Saudi. So there are no infrastructures in Saudi that basically has a cybersecurity SOC, a system operating center called CSOC, that effectively manages all the transactions or all the events that are happening in the digital lines. Recently, the government has awarded six companies tier one SOC license. Tier two SOC license are being handed over right now. I think around 15 or 16 companies are being selected for tier two SOC license, and there will be a tier three. So with the cybersecurity services, what I mean is complete secured digital transaction if it is in the line of fintech. If it is in the line of smart homes, you have complete privacy over your data, you have complete control over your home. If you are driving your EV which has autopilot, or you have complete control over your car. So effectively, cybersecurity is going to be the main driver that will enable all of your software apps or services to be mainstream in the country. And that has been one of the primary conditions by the government, in which any software services or apps that needs to be uh, in the public domain of Saudi Arabia, national domain of Saudi, it has to follow or it has to pass the NCA standards of Saudi Arabia, NCA being the National Cyber Authority. So there's a huge market over here with a good amount of spending from the government. And these are the four sectors which I summarized. Cloud security and SIM solution basically is the stock requirement. And critical infrastructure protection would be the OT cybersecurity services that are required over here. A financial sector security would be the for the banks, and then the smart city and IoT security. That would basically augment all the smart city, all the smart projects, all the giga projects that have been launched in Saudi Arabia. I mean, without this, all of these projects will be uh, just a talk. Cybersecurity would be the one who would essentially give uh, assurance to all the users to go ahead and use all these digital services. And this one slide, which basically I want to align with my fellow participants, that what would be the success factors? What is the uh, things which you should look into when you want to set up a business in Saudi? Localization. Localization is a big thing. Like if you see that as the first one of the first things, it has to be Arabic first. That is the most important thing. If you look at the population divide, we are around 36 million. Out of 36 million, around 12 to 13 million is the expat population. And out of that 13 million, very few are English speaking. Remaining all are predominantly Arabic. Multiple payment methods. Uh, yes, you have Visa and MasterCard, but in Saudi, we have MADA, the national network for payments. That needs to be a basic factor for your app or services. Cultural adaptation, local customer experience, halal and Islamic compliance. All of this play a big factor in your success. And then I would stress on the relationship building. Saudi is not a place like other place where here relationships really matter. Who do you know, and who all do you know? Those are the things which really matter for your success in your business. And the third one would be your vision alignment. If your vision for your company or your services, not if the vision for your services or your company should really align with the company, with the country's vision, and the country's vision has enough collaterals in the public domain as to what they plan to do in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and the next 15 years, which we have seen in the last 2 days in all the sessions. So I'm also trying to mention some of the pitfalls that destroy new ventures in Saudi. We have seen there are success factors as well as there are failures, and it's always good to analyze why they fail. And these are the failures mainly which I feel that results in destroying the ventures the entrepreneurs create in Saudi. Underestimating relationship, not giving importance to Saudization. You know, some people don't have a lack of physical presence inside Saudi. Uh, uh, the team which they bring from outside, expat, they have absolutely zero cultural training. And of course, ignoring the regional headquarter requirement, which is mandatory for Saudi Arabia. This is my last slide. The window is now. So for all the leaders and potential business people, the key takeaways, as I mentioned, in my view, would be the fintech, DAP, and cybersecurity, and the 2025 investment law, which basically motivates and promotes all of you leaders to establish inside Saudi as early as possible, because you have a 2 to 6 week formation time. And what are the success factors? This is what I have discussed. And the immediate steps would be to engage with a Saudi-based legal advisor for a feasibility study. SIBEC can help you with that. I have seen a lot of legal advisors that have come and given their speeches in the platform. Strategic planning. Please have localization and Saudization in as part of your strategy, and your market timeline. This is the most important thing, because if you are a first mover, you will win. Because after 2030, you will lose the tailwinds. You will face a lot of headwinds, and you will face a lot of obstruction in terms of regulatory approvals after 2030. That's all from my presentation. I'm open for any questions you have.